Naturally, as a mother of 8 children, I spend a lot of time in the kitchen preparing meals for my family. So I thought it would be fun for this week's video just to take the camera around and show you some of the different meals that I prepared on these videos. Sometimes you get dinner, sometimes you get lunch. It just depends on when I decide to break out the camera, but this does give you kind of a good idea of the meals that I cook for my large family, and hopefully it gives you guys some great meal inspiration and that you guys find a new meal to try. Now, as always, I will link these recipes for you guys down in my description box below. If you're new here, I do have a blog where I share all of my cooking recipes. It's called castironskilletcooking.com. I named it that because I do so much cooking in my cast iron skillet. And a few years ago, I learned that a lot of people had a lot of questions about cooking in cast iron, the benefits of it, and just kind of like care and keeping up with the cast iron. So I started a whole blog about it. And so if you're ever curious about my recipes, you can go there to check them out. Now, you don't have to have a cast iron or cook all of my recipes in a cast iron skillet. That's just why that blog has that name. All right, I'll say orange.
You know that really?
Yeah.
That one goes really good. After we, and then he lost, and then yeah, we fought. What was it? And then cheese.
For this first meal, I am making some enchiladas. I am using venison because that's what meat I had defrosted in my refrigerator. You could use a ground beef, you could do chicken, turkey, so many options for enchiladas. I am making some homemade tortillas for this meal. I love adding freshly milled grains into as many recipes as I can. I know they have so many wonderful benefits for our health, and so I like my kids to be able to eat that as much as possible. And so for this particular meal, I am making some freshly milled tortillas. I do have that recipe on my blog, so I'll link it for you guys down below. And my daughter is making a pie with freshly milled flour for the crust and a mixture of blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries for the filling. 100 grams. Enchiladas are actually very simple to put together, and they're always a crowd pleaser. When I make them, I like to try to make a double or triple batch. On this particular day, I did not do that, But in times past, I like to do that and pop one of those in the freezer to have a really simple freezer meal on a busy night. Once you have everything out, it just makes sense to make more. So take that tip. Do as I say, not as I do, as I think that's how the saying goes, and make yourself a double batch, and you will thank yourself later when you have a really busy night and you already have a meal in the freezer ready to go. When the enchiladas were finished, we topped them with lettuce, some homemade pico de gallo, and some sour cream. And my daughter also made some homemade vanilla ice cream to put on top of her pie. For the next meal, I'm making a really simple chili lime chicken. This meal was inspired just by having a whole chicken defrosted in my freezer. I actually got this whole chicken from my sister. I buy a lot of my meat from her. She has a YouTube channel all about her farm and how she raises all of her animals, and she sells her meat. And so I am actually using some chicken straight off her farm, and it is a whole chicken that's already cut into pieces. So I'm making a marinade for this out of lime, some chili powder, some garlic, a little bit of honey, and marinating the chicken in this for a few hours. And then I will pan sear this and then finish baking it in the oven in my cast iron skillet. Don't you love chicken? Yeah, do you love chicken? Chicken time. I also steamed up some rice. I added in some lime and chili powder into that as well. Then when this was all finished, I garnished this with some fresh cilantro. While I'm showing you what I'm eating this week, I need to tell you about Good Bacteria, which is a daily symbiotic that I have been taking since having my 8th baby. Good Bacteria is doctor formulated for gut diversity, supporting better digestion, immunity, mood, and just overall well-being. All things I am striving for in my postpartum season and really any time of my life. Nearly every system in our body is connected to the gut in some way. And even if we are eating the perfect diet, which obviously nobody is, we still need to support our gut. It's that important. We need to feed our microbes the variety they crave to help the whole body thrive. Good Bacteria mirrors this natural rhythm by rotating strands weekly, and I love it. They make it so easy to follow. So they have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and each one is color coded, so it's really simple to know which one to grab on which day. Most probiotics are static and strain specific with the same formula every day, but Good Bacteria gives you the power of all three: your prebiotic, your probiotic, and your postbiotic, which is all so important for your gut health. And the best part is that it's so easy to consume. I have been adding my Good Bacteria into my chai lattes every morning, and so it's a really easy thing to add to my routine, and I know I'm getting so many great benefits by doing so. If you want to try out Good Bacteria, they're actually running a Mother's Day promotion right now until May 13th. You'll get 20% off plus a free gift with a 3 and 6 month subscription purchase. This will be an automatic discount, so there's no code needed. You guys can use my link. It's goodbacteria.com/oilyhouse. I also have that for you guys down in the description box below. Okay, for this next meal, I am making some pork chops. I am just breading these with a little bit of flour, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, and then I'm just going to pan sear these in my cast iron skillet. Boys, don't eat too much of that, okay? No, there's no, yeah, too much. After all sides were seared, I removed them from the pan and made a honey glazed sauce. And then I put the pork chops back in there to simmer them in the sauce and to let them finish cooking, and really just to get all the juices to mix. This made a really delicious, breaded yet juicy pork chop. These were so good. My husband doesn't normally love pork chops, but he said these were really good and that he would definitely eat these again. He is not picky at all. He just likes pork steaks over pork chops. So a lot of times whenever we bring our hogs to the butcher, I will actually tell them to not give us the pork chops, but he said if I make them like this, I should get them every single time. So he was a big fan. They were really delicious. I'll link this recipe for you guys down in the description box below. With these pork chops, I served a roasted potato medley. I did red potatoes, yellow potatoes, and sweet potatoes, and an onion. I just chopped them all up and drizzled some avocado over top of them, added some salt, mixed them well, and just roasted them in the oven. My kids love when I make this, and it's a really great way to get some more vegetables into their diet. For this fourth meal, I needed something really quick because we had some afternoon plans and I wanted to get this done while my littles were napping. And I also wanted a meal that would work really well for just keeping on the stove, simmering, or something really quick that I could warm back up when I got home since we had a busy evening this night. And I had some ground sausage in the refrigerator that was defrosted, so I decided to make a creamy sausage pasta. I browned my sausage, added in some onion. Once all that was finished, I mashed up some garlic, put that in there to saute, added in some cream cheese and also some cream and a little bit of milk, mixed it all up, boiled up some noodles, put it back in the pot. This is a one pot wonder, I like to call it. Super easy to make, super easy to clean up and to serve. This is a really easy meal that will feed a crowd, and a really great one just to put the lid on it and let it sit and then just rewarm it up when it's time to actually eat dinner. During the summer months, I love to have quick, easy meals that I can prep during my afternoon nap time, and then we can go out and do all the fun things and then come home, have a quick, easy dinner, and then get the kids in bed. So I like to fall back on pastas and soups or casseroles so that I can have it all put in one dish, easy to cover while we're gone, and then rewarm up when we get home. It's really good with honey. Chop it up with your kiwi toe. This last meal I'm going to share with you guys is a sweet potato taco. I used to make these all the time and I honestly forgot about them. I haven't done them in a really long time, but the base of this taco is just a sweet potato. I bake it until it's soft and then slice it in half, open it up and kind of mash up the sweet potato, and then top it with all of your favorite taco toppings. So for this one, I am using ground sausage again because if you can't tell, that's the meat that we have in our freezer. We are completely out of beef right now. We made it through all of our venison. I just ordered half of a cow from my sister, and so we will have a freezer stocked full of beef again soon. But right now, we have so much pork, and so I'm doing a couple pounds of ground sausage, and then we are topping this with some homemade pico de gallo, a little bit of lettuce and cilantro, salsa, sour cream. It's just a taco on top of a sweet potato. Might sound weird, it's really delicious, and again, another great way to sneak in some of those orange veggies if you have little ones that are picky or you're just trying to get more vegetables and nutrition into your diet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I get out a new video every single week.